Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Jump podcast with me, Neeson. No Jaden here today for reasons unknown to you guys. I'll leave it at that. First off, before I get into this, I want to say thank you for those who watched the first episode. Love to know that it's getting out there. Slowly but surely, we're going to start taking over. Hopefully, that's the plan. Mind that voice break. You can still watch the episode on the YouTube channel, obviously. Leave a comment down below, anything you agree with, anything you disagree with. Also, any feedback about how I spoke. I know I was quite nervous, but first episode, please just don't hold that against me. More content will be on its way. I want to keep this going, maybe one recording a week, so one episode a week, that'll amount to. I know next week Spider-Man Far From Home comes out, so as soon as I watch it, I'm going to drop a review for that. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell to get the latest as soon as it comes out. And yep, we'll get straight into this one. Actually, no, before that, leave a like if you like this one. Subscribe, again, hit that notification bell. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/jumpnerd. I'll leave a link to it down below. And leave a comment as well. Anything you agree with, anything you disagree with. I'd love to know what you guys think. Everyone's got their own opinion, and it's good to share it, and that's why. I think that's probably the main reason I'm doing this. I don't know. So, back straight to this one. I'm going to stick with the same subject as the previous podcast, and that's the NBA. Big week ahead, free agency in a couple days. The awards, obviously, a couple days ago. So, we'll get straight into it. I'll just start off giving my thoughts on the awards. Right off the bat, Shaq, great host. I enjoyed Shaq. He was amazing. We know Shaq's a great, I wouldn't say comedian, but he's hilarious. Obviously, his banter with Mr. Round Mound of Rebound Barkley, always good to see. If you watch Inside the NBA, those guys are great. I was a huge fan of the new Shaq. Shout out to the new Shaq. If you know, you know. He was amazing. They should probably get him on the Inside the NBA, I reckon. I'm not gonna lie. He'd be hilarious. As far as the awards are concerned, all myself and Jaden's predictions in the previous podcast were true, except for Defensive Player of the Year. I said Paul George for Defensive Player of the Year. However, Rudy Gobert ended up taking away the award. Am I mad? A little bit. I didn't think he deserved it. Or well, first of all, I don't not like that. I think it's more. I didn't think he should have won it this year. No disrespect to Rudy Gobert. Obviously, he's a terrific player. The French Rejection is a nickname that I enjoy a lot. I like that nickname. But I think Paul George had a better year defensively than Rudy Gobert. One thing I want to know, you guys can probably tell me about this in the comments if you want. He brought his last year's trophy with him? Like, what's that all about? That's not a thing. Is it like, did he stash it under his table? Did he have someone waiting outside the arena being like, yo, Gobert, I got it, here you go. And why did he bring it? Was he, like, did he know he was going to win? Or what would have happened if he didn't win? I think that would have been awkward and mildly hilarious. But yeah, it is what it is. Congratulations to all the winners. Rudy Gobert as well. Congratulations, fella. You did well. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about the awards. We'll get straight into this one. This episode probably isn't going to be too long. I don't have many big topics to talk about here, or that might take up a lot of time, but anyway. So, we've got free agency coming up in a couple of days. Players are opting in and opting out of their various player options. The draft obviously happened last week. I've got nothing to say about it because I don't watch much college basketball. The only people I knew were obviously the top three. I knew a few other guys. One surprise I will say for me is Bol going 44th. This guy was a projected lottery pick or top 20 pick. Ended up going 44. So I want to know what his medical report is. Is this something we don't know? and something they're not telling us, and I'd like to, very curious to know. Also, Kobe White, I noted who he was when my Chicago Bulls team picked him up. So I was like, all right, cool. Check out his highlights, and I'm excited. He's going to be I think we've got a solid backcourt with Levine and obviously Kobe White at point guard and Levine at two. Our second round pick, I saw his highlights. I think he's going to be great as well. Chicago, we're building slowly but surely. All Chicago fans, we're not there yet, but slowly but surely, man, we're going to get that chip. We're going to get that championship, and we're going to be kings again. 2-3-peat, man. It's back. We're coming back. So, Kevin Durant, today or very recently has declined his player option and will become an unrestricted free agent. Again, I don't know what his plans are. I don't know where I'd like to see him. All I'll say is that I don't think he's gonna re-sign. I'll just say that. I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't know what his interests are. I don't know whether he wants to stay, whether he wants to leave. Obviously, when he had his big fight with Draymond, someone got a snippet of him saying, "That's why I'm out of here," or that's what his lips kind of formed the sentence. "That's why I'm out of here." That's not neither here nor there, but it is what it is on that part. But I think he's gonna leave, especially now with Iguodala's comments on the Warriors. If they're gonna have to do a bit of damage control there, he's gonna leave if it is true that they were planning on just icing his leg up. I'm gonna chuck him back out there during that Raptors game or the Houston game. I don't know which one it was, but if that's true, then I probably wouldn't want to leave. Jaden said that, and also my mom also said that the Warriors were stupid to throw him out there in the first place in Game 2 of the finals. I agree with that. I think they should have let it out. But at the same time, he showed his dedication to the team. He showed his dedication to getting that championship, and he was willing to put his body on the line. So I respect that. But I really wouldn't want to stay on there, especially with this kind of injury. He is expected to miss the whole season. He's gonna miss the whole season. Let's be honest here. Wherever he goes, I don't know, but wherever he goes will have a huge impact on a lot of other free agents. KD is the best player in the world. Reluctantly, I'm saying that. I'm a huge LeBron guy, but I think it's safe to say that this guy is the best player in the world, and it's a huge power shift. Kawhi now, well, he is not technically now the best player in the world because KD's injured. But wherever KD signs, whether he goes east, whether he stays west, a lot of players will decide based on that. Kawhi also opting out of his player option. I think that's huge. I still think he's going to re-sign. I didn't think he was going to actually opt out of the player option. Maybe he's probably going to sign for more money. I don't know. I'd like to see where that goes. Kawhi is actually going to hold a meeting with the Clippers, the Raptors, obviously those two teams we know his interest. The Nets, they're holding meetings with everybody. We know they want everybody. They've got the money, they've got the cap space and all that stuff. And Philly, excuse me, big surprise there. I don't know where this came from. I'm not sure if he will hold a meeting or if it's just he's planning to hold a meeting. I don't know, but Philly, I can't see him going there at all. No way. It's Clippers or Raptors for me, and I think Raptors. He's gonna stay with the Raptors. They love him there. I assume he loves it there. We know Kawhi's a fun guy, and Boardman gets paid. Boardman gets paid. The Knicks, they are struggling at the moment. They are struggling to land free agents. They have said that if KD doesn't go, that they're gonna go after. If KD doesn't end up going to New York, they're gonna go after DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, they need all they can get at this moment. Porzingis is gone. They used that to clear out cap space. They didn't get the number 1 pick. They didn't even get the number 2 pick. Then they ended up getting number 3. They drafted RJ Barrett, who's a great young player, but he's a rookie. I don't think they want to put all of this pressure onto him immediately. They want other pieces around him, or they want him to be a piece around a bigger player Regardless, it's not looking good for them. Obviously, now KD is injured. Kyrie has expressed huge interest in the Nets. I just don't think anybody wants to go to New York. I'd be surprised if they land one of the big three, to be honest, and that's obviously Kawhi, KD, and Kyrie. Kemba Walker is probably the fourth best, maybe on the free agents list, but I don't think he's gonna go. I'll talk about him in a bit. Yeah, the Knicks, they're struggling with everybody. They're just not. It's not looking good for them. To think that before the draft they were expected to get number one and draft Zion Williamson. Well, we all know how that went. Then they also expected to get New York was expected to get KD in free agency. I also want to know where these rumors came from. All of a sudden, KD, New York, he's going to go to New York, and then they also like, yeah, we're going to go after KD. I don't know if they expressed interest, but from what I know, people just started putting together that KD's free agent. New York's got a max slot or two max slots available. KD has to leave the Warriors if he wants to, quote unquote, prove himself to the NBA fans. They just put those together and like KD's going to New York and Kyrie going to New York because reasons. Reasons. I'll just say that. Speaking of the Knicks, trading Porzingis. I was watching First Take this morning. Question came up. Will the Knicks regret trading Kristaps Porzingis? I agree with both Stephen A. Smith and Max on what they said. Stephen A. said that they had no choice, so whatever happened. So I'm not sure if he said yes or no, but I think he said no because they had no choice. Because obviously we know Kristaps Porzingis requested a trade. I also agree with Max in saying that they should regret making that environment not good for him and actually forcing him to request the trade in the first place. They should have sorted themselves out rather than being like, yeah, let's just buy into this. I think they should have tried harder to get it because he's a franchise player. But obviously Porzingis wasn't happy there. He said, listen, you guys are going to pay me a lot of money. I might not even play next year. I'm not going to tell you guys when I'm coming back. Whatever happens, happens. So yeah, Porzingis. Mavericks are expected to offer Kristaps Porzingis a $158 million deal, max deal for 5 years. I think it's 150 or 158. I didn't look at it properly. Just correct me down there. Correct me on that one. Will he accept it? Yes. I've said this before. Kristaps Porzingis is going to stay in Dallas. The Mavericks are hoping to create a dynamic duo with Luka Doncic, Rookie of the Year. My pick also for Rookie of the Year. Applaud me later. And Kristaps Porzingis. They're going to be great. We know Porzingis is 7'2", who can his jump shot is. This guy can shoot well. He can run the floor. He's a defensive beast. He's a shot blocker. He's a very complete player, and he's early years. This is his 4th year, I think, in the league. So this will be his third season playing. This guy's he's a terrific player. The unicorn, obviously, he's staying. Nothing more needs to be said about that on Porzingis' end. Kemba Walker. What do I think about that? I've said it that he should go to the Lakers, but everything that's coming up with all these teams looking to get him, I don't know at all. I don't think he's going to go to the Mavericks. I reckon he could go to Boston. Obviously they're looking for a star player, star point guard, with Kyrie Irving leaving. It's not confirmed, but it pretty much is confirmed. It's unofficially official that he is going to leave and become a free agent, and I'll talk about where he's going to go down the line as well. I don't think he should go to Dallas. I would like it if he went to Dallas. I think that'll be a nice little big three. They could emerge as a great playoff team. Young, 3 guys who are phenomenal players. If it comes down to the last shot, you've got Luka, you've got Kemba, and they're going to be a great. Mavericks are going to be a great team with or without Kemba Walker. So wherever he goes, I'm not sure. Boston, it would be a good fit. I think he'd fit well in Brad Stevens' system because Brad Stevens is a great coach. I was going to say this. I don't think people should blame Brad Stevens for the Celtics season. Brad Stevens is a great coach, and he just had too many stars, and he was just trying to figure out what to do. And obviously, what he tried to do just wasn't good enough. I had them to win it all last season. They didn't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They got knocked out in 5 against the Bucks, but that's over with. Uh, Clean slate for the um, Celtics post Kyrie. So they're still going to be a powerhouse in the East. You know, Jason Tatum is a great player. They should build around him. Or if they get Kemba, I think he'll play well with Jason Tatum. Also speaking of the Mavs, they have highly interested in acquiring Patrick Beverley and Nikola Mirotic. Patrick Beverley, I say that's a huge pickup for them. He'll play well. He's a defensive beast. Obviously, we know this. He's got the reputation. I guess, a modern day Gary Payton. You know, this guy. He's a great player. Uh, so on the defensive end, he's a great pickup. Nikola Mirotic, he's a spot up big man shooter. With Luka, he can obviously split the defense, and obviously if he needs a kick out, you've got Nikola Mirotic. He's a great perimeter player, pretty good on defense. I think that'll be great. I think if they get those two, they will be a threat in the West. A threat in the West, definitely a threat. Sticking to the West, the Houston Rockets pursuing Jimmy Butler, who is also expected to or is going to opt out of his play option with Philadelphia. What do I say to this? No. That's just no. I don't think Jimmy Butler would fit well in Mike D'Antoni's one-man ball dominant system. Chris Paul, he's not playing well. He's aging. We know, we've seen it now. He's becoming the shell of that great Chris Paul that was drafted by New Orleans and that made the Clippers great again, or made the Clippers great with Blake Griffin and DJ. Jimmy Butler won't fit because D'Antoni's system is one guy, ball dominant, and if he needs a kick out, pass the ball out, and then you have a catch and shoot guy. Jimmy Butler, I can't see him being that guy. He needs to be, I wouldn't say ball dominant, but he needs to carry the ball. He can play well off the ball. He's great on defense, but reducing him to just a spot up shooter is disrespectful, and it just wouldn't work. He shot, I think, 34% from three this season, and he's also he's a career over his career he's shot 34% and yeah. So last season he shot 34% from three, but he didn't attempt that many threes. So his 3-point shooting is not even that great. It's good, but it's not where he needs to be attempting about 9-10 shots a game of just catch and shoot. You know, he has to create his own shots, and he's good at that. So Jimmy Butler, Lakers or Philly? I think he should stay with Philly. I think he works well. He can bring that tough leadership, and he'll bring also that playoff mentality that they need. Embiid's got that. Ben Simmons. Once that guy gets a jump shot, I think I can talk about him. But Jimmy Butler and Embiid were the two best players when Butler arrived. Embiid being number one, and Butler being number two, but Butler also being that, hey, game's on the line, give the ball to me, and I can win it for us. So stay, or I think he'd work well with the Lakers. I really do. He'd be a good fit with LeBron and AD. Yeah. Just don't go to the Rockets, mate. Just it won't work. Or maybe it could work, depending if management decides that, listen, D'Antoni, you gotta change up your system here. We can't have this ISO ball. It's not working out. I've talked about the Celtics signing Kemba Walker. Brooklyn. This is an interesting one. Brooklyn is in talks with everybody now. They're a huge market team to sign big free agents. recently it came out that they are only going to sign, or yeah, they are only going to sign Kyrie if he is bringing Kevin Durant with him. I don't think I don't know whether KD's going to go to the Nets. Like I said, all I know is that KD's going to leave the Warriors. That's all I know. Well, that's all I think will happen. That's as far as I'll go. Is he gonna go with Kyrie to Brooklyn? I don't know. He could. He couldn't. If Kyrie doesn't bring KD, I guess no contract for him. So where should Kyrie go? I think the only reasonable option is a reunion with Robin. Sorry, not Robin. LeBron. They can be the Batman and Robin, or maybe he might even end up just being the Oracle if AD turns into LeBron's Robin. Big three there, obviously. Kyrie and LeBron, great team. They had great chemistry in Cleveland, winning that championship in 2016. So I'll just say that for Kyrie. If you ain't going Nets, go to the Lakers because we know you want to win. And if you want to lead your own team, well, your reputation in that situation isn't good, as we know. Terry Rozier had a lot to say, and a lot of things coming out saying he had occasional heated arguments with Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, and even the whole locker room. He was just, but that's what you get from a big time player. He knows what it takes to win, so I'm not gonna blame anybody on that. Well, I'd like to see how that goes. Speaking of the Lakers, they have expressed interest in D'Angelo Russell on the condition that he'll opt out. I'm not sure if he's got a play. I would assume he's got a play option. So assuming he opts out of that play option and the Nets get Kyrie, I think they should really go for this. D'Angelo Russell has proven himself now as a great scorer. He'll be a great fit alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. I know Skip Bayless, he said the complete opposite. He obviously had a few things to say, but we know Skip essentially hates LeBron, and anything LeBron does is he'll always find the bad in it. But yeah, I think that would be a great pickup for LA. D'Angelo Russell can go and prove himself again to the Laker fans, or actually, but that was an off-court issue. It doesn't matter. But he's shown himself he's a great scorer, great passer. D'Angelo Russell's a beast. Go for it. If you're the Lakers, I reckon you should go not all in, but you should put a lot of effort into getting D'Angelo Russell. He'll be a great fit with LeBron and AD, and if they get Kyrie, he could maybe even play the 2 guard, or I don't think he would want to come off the bench for Kyrie Irving, but I'm just saying, maybe, you never know. If you just take a step back, you might even you'll play well. Coming off the bench, he might even be a 6 man of the year, but I think that's a personal thing. He might see it as wasted talent, but if you're the Lakers, with Kyrie, it's essentially a chance because it is a coin toss. With D'Angelo Russell, if you really go in and convince him, you've got a chance. Yes, it's 50-50 again, but I think your chances are better of getting D'Angelo Russell than getting Kyrie Irving if he's still interested in the Nets. Kyrie Irving only goes to the Lakers if the Nets say, you're not bringing KD, well, sorry, mate. We're going to stick with D'Angelo Russell here. Speaking of LA, the Clippers. Kawhi, obviously, is going to have a meeting with them. We know he doesn't want to play alongside LeBron James, or I'm not sure he doesn't want to, but maybe his mind's changed. I don't know, but I don't think he'll go to the Lakers. Maybe he could go to the Lakers. I don't see it personally. Clippers, yeah, I think that'll be fun. Kawhi back in the West, and if KD remains with the Warriors, you'll essentially have the 3 best players on the planet in the same conference. That is going to be fun. I will really enjoy that. The Clippers, if they can't land Kawhi, they are going to pursue Tobias Harris, who they traded. So I'd like to see how that meeting goes down. I really would. it'll be interesting to see what Tobias Harris has to say. But obviously, they traded him for cap space so they can get Kawhi, and I don't even know who they got back in return for the Tobias Harris trade, to be honest. Uh, Doesn't matter. Yeah, Clippers, I reckon go for it because I don't think Tobias Harris will stay. Um, if you're Tobias Harris, you should probably look at all your options and then decide. I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't think he'll stay in Philly. That's all I'll say. I think Tobias Harris would work well in the Pacers with the Pacers. Him and Victor Oladipo. That's a pretty dangerous duo duo right there. You know, you've got Miles Turner as well, who's a shot blocker, who got snubbed on defensive first team, and or actually defensive team. He didn't make defensive team, did he? Any of the teams? That's a snub right there, and who I actually said should be nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. He's a better shot blocker than Rudy Gobert. He led the league in blocks. He obviously wasn't happy about it, but that's a whole other rabbit hole to dive into. But yeah, I think Tobias Harris. I reckon, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Pacers. I think that's a good fit for him. Yeah, that's it for. That's all I've got for this episode of the podcast. Thank you all for listening. Leave a like, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell for the latest as soon as it comes up. Leave a comment down below. Spider-Man Far From Home, as soon as it's released, as soon as I watch it, I'll be dropping my review for that, so eyes out for that. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.